Hi, everybody. Now hold up. Yes, my mic is plugged. Yes, that's a good start. That's a good sign. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you. Aduko. Listen, I promise y'all we will do a fire festival. It's just yesterday with the news that we got and just trying to process it. Here we are. We will. I promise you. I don't know if I'm thinking about it. I got to see if I have a sitter for tonight. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it for tonight. Okay. Depending on the news. If I get more news that I got to, it's tragic, then we might have to set it aside. Shout out to you. No worries. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Jackie Mendez. How are you, my love? Shout out to you. Andrew said, listen, I'm here for the Jell-O shot story, Rabbit. Let me vote right now. Shout out to Andrew. Thank you. Last Ronan, Janine, Dee, thank you for being here. Pika, Zoe, shout out to you. Aduko, James, thank you. Christine, how are you? Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing? The last Ronan, thank you. Evening Stars in the house. Whew, I'm out of breath already, y'all. And this is only the first cup. Today I decided to sleep in. I said I deserve to sleep in today because I was really tired yesterday. Nurse Janice, welcome. Amber Waves of Grain, welcome. Clearly, Shelly, Sherelle, you got notified. Thank you, YouTube, for doing your job. Thank you. Nebby, thank you for being here. Welcome, Tiffany. Shout out to you. Ooh. I'm sorry. Ooh, happy Sunday, everybody. Dee Marie, welcome. How you doing, my love? Thank you, Discord. Did your kids yes, they did. Thank God. Like I got some rest, so I'm glad for that. But I'm glad that the YT notifications are on point. Now hold up. Let me share this with everybody. Something I didn't play my intro the last 2 days because it was just too much crazy news. So we're gonna go ahead and start it. And while the intro is going, I'm gonna share. Make sure you guys will get your little drinks or whatever, and then come back and let's do this. Hold up. Wait a minute. Bruh. Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits in the chat. True crime is my specialty. Exposed in the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring cults. Researching. Debunking. Investigating. Being nosy. Super nosy. Being messy. Being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me. The chick with ADHD. Unmedicated. But quite educated. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's start the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Welcome. So we're going to get started right away because we definitely have Thank you for dancing along. We definitely have a lot to review. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. It is Sunday, April 27th. My goodness, we have what 3-4 days left to the end of the month, guys. Like the year is moving along very fast. The year is yearing. It's moving. It's moving. And I still feel some type of way about everything, the way in which everything got started. I'm still recovering from 2024, and 2025 is like, I don't know, no different in my opinion. This is it's giving crazy. It's giving crazy. It is. We're almost there. I love the summer months. It's like my favorite time of the year is the summer. I That's just how I am. I hate the winter. I really do, which is crazy because it's like, I mean, it's around winter is my birthday, but for me, I'm a summer girl. Love the hot ass sun. Love it when it's 112 outside and you feel like, it's so hot. I don't know, something about the weather is just amazing. When it's like that, and then when it cools down. So I'm waiting for the summer. I'm ready for the summer to hit. But welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. 2025 has been the longest 30 years of my adulthood. There you go. I'm like, You love the cold? I listen, y'all hate it. Humidity? I like it. I like it. This is why I don't know, like when it's cold, I get depressed. I really do. I get like seasonal. I go through like a seasonal state in my mind. And I do my best to like I've been better, but I do my best to kind of get myself out of that. It's been better, but I do go through like seasons of like depression, especially in the winter. Something about the weather changes that really just gets me down. But yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Too much news. Too much news. We're just like 112, really, Rabbit? Yes, I love it. 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 Yes. 2025 said challenge accepted. LOL. You love the cold weather? Love the summers in Alabama? Ooh. Anyways. All right, guys, let's get it going. Yo, autumn is a great season too. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great season. I get really sad because I'm like, when it's autumn and I feel like winter's coming, I say, oh God. People are drinking pumpkin spice crap all over, pumpkin toilet paper, pumpkin spice Pop Tarts, pumpkin spice coffees. I don't like pumpkin spice. I like pumpkin. I just don't like pumpkin spice. So that's the shit that just makes me depressed. Just can't. Can't deal. Can't deal. Anyways, welcome, welcome, welcome. Really? Belen, let's switch. Girl, let's switch. I'm telling you, I love it. I would love it. I love it. You like everything but raking leaves. I like the leaf change. Yeah. I love it. All right, guys, let's get it together. You love everything pumpkin. Did y'all see that pumpkin toilet paper though? I said that shit must burn. That must burn, okay? That must be burning. That's what I got to say. They be doing too much. Pumpkin spice deodorants. No, keep your pumpkin spices. I'm good. I'm good. All right. Let's get it together. Let's talk about this, Andrew. This is for you, Andrew. Shout out to you. Make sure you hit the like button. All right. We're going to start with this Texas mom who was arrested after bringing jello shots to a fifth grade classroom party. I swear I need to have a segment on my channel where we talk about stupid criminals. Like literally. There are times where all you have to worry. I remember, okay? I remember back when it was like, hey, make sure you ask if there's a peanut allergy or something, like making sure that people aren't allergic to like nuts and stuff like that, or eggshell, whatever, that you're cooking or whatever, making sure that you're just, mindful of that, right? Because you don't want kids breaking into hives or having any kind of allergic reactions. How did we get to this? How did we get to like somehow this 33-year-old thought it was okay to make jello shots to fifth graders? Does anybody understand how? Who what? 15 students consumed the shots and nearly all reported having stomach aches and headaches. This is what the arrest affidavit said. A Texas mother who officials, say took alcoholic jello shots to her child's elementary school Christmas party has been arrested. Why? Teresa Isabel Bernal, 33, was charged with injury to a child in connection to a party December 20th at Jones Elementary School in Tyler, Texas. Bernal purchased the Jell-O shots from a home business she found on Facebook, according to the arrest affidavit. So instead of making like cups of Jell-O, she said, I'm gonna get some Jell-O shots from Facebook. Did she know that these things had like alcohol? Or what was she thinking? The shots were laid out on a table along with treats students had brought to share in a cafeteria where fifth grade classes gathered, officials said. 15 students consumed the shots, and nearly all reported having stomach aches and headaches. One student told police that he vomited twice at school that day, and another student said he passed out at school after consuming the Jell-O shot, according to the affidavit. One student reported that he had 6 Jell-O shots and got dizzy. He had 6 Jell-O shots. And I mean, I guess it depends how the person makes their Jell-O shots. Jell-O shot is alcohol, right? This poor fifth grader had 6. Listen, it's like, what? That's the question. I guess we'd have to kind of wonder, right? That is crazy. I guess she couldn't be bothered to make the Jell-O, so she's like, I'm gonna go buy it off of Facebook Marketplace or something. I didn't even know you could buy food from. Well, I guess tamales, right? Like people will sell tamales and certain things like that. But um, okay, let's keep going. He took 6 and got dizzy. When he returned to his class, he got dizzy and felt like he could not get back on his feet. When questioned by a Tyler Independent School District police officer, Bernal said she did not know the shots contain alcohol, but said they do taste different. The arrest affidavit says she discovered the shots had alcohol only after the children had consumed some of them, according to officials. So she didn't have a shot to try them out before. What? Bernal did not immediately respond to messages left on phone numbers listed under her name. A teacher told police that 2 other teachers tried the shots and said they believe the shots contain alcohol. Okay, so then the teachers are having the shots and they're not like saying, well, let's get rid of. Did everybody just say, oh, we're just going to try it and see if it has alcohol? The teacher tried one herself, but couldn't tell because of the flavor. Said what? You call BS? You have got to be kidding me on this story on today. Okay. Lady gets Jell-O shots from Facebook Marketplace. All right. I don't know. She didn't want to make Jell-O that day for the school Christmas party for the 5th graders. She takes those Jell-O shots and gives them, to everybody to share. You got 15 students who took the Jell-O shots. One of them is talking about, he threw up, and the other one said that he got dizzy. He took 2 of them and he got dizzy, 5th graders. And then 2 teachers took the Jell-O shots. One of them said, yeah, this tastes like alcohol. And the other one said, well, I can't tell because there's just too much flavor in it. Like, you can't make this news up. You cannot make this news up. So none of these adults are like, well, if it tastes like alcohol, maybe we should get rid of all of them. No, they had all the kids. You know that those teachers probably wanted, didn't want to deal with all the crazy kids in the Christmas party. So they said, yeah, go ahead, kids. Go ahead. Keep taking these shots. Do your thing. I'm speechless. Okay? That's what I have to say about that. Because I'm thinking if I take one Jell-O shot, or at least a Jell-O shot, and I'm like, this is not regular Jell-O. We got to get rid of this shit right now. Remove them. But no, they let the kids have them even after they tasted like alcohol. What? Jackie, one kid took what? 2? So I don't know how many they were allowed. There were 15 kids. Anyways, let's keep reading this. 6, excuse me. One student reported he took 6 Jell-O shots and got dizzy. That's crazy. Let's keep going. So the teacher took the kids back to her class and sent those who consumed a jello shot to the nurse's office. After that, just 4 children remained in her class. So she took all of her kids to the back. She's like, all right, Christmas party's over. The ones that took the jello shots, you guys are going to the nurse's office. And then throughout the day, she only had 4 kids. And those 4 kids did not take those jello shots. You cannot make this up, guys. You cannot. You cannot. The party took place just before holiday break, and the investigating officer interviewed teachers when they returned to work on January 6th. During the interview, I was told while some of the teachers found it odd that Bernal would bring jello shots to an elementary school party, they were trusting Bernal not to bring anything harmful to the school party. Bernal was an involved parent and was present at many functions at the school. The Facebook Suites business Bernal had purchased the shots from had a clear disclaimer on its website stating the shots were made from Smirnoff vodka. You know what? This is what? So she got the sweets, and I did she not read that it said Smirnoff vodka? You said, America, America. What are we doing, America? What is going on? What is going on? You know what? Did the officers at least get the set? Well, you know, Andrew, I wonder if they would have saved one because then they could have tested one in the lab or something, right? You cannot make this there is a disclaimer on the website. Okay? That's what they just said. All right. The Facebook Suites business Bernal had purchased the shots from had a clear disclaimer on its website stating the shots were made with Smirnoff vodka, the affidavit said. In my opinion, there is no way Bernal could have missed the fact that the jello shots she purchased and bought to her daughter's 5th grade Christmas party contained drinking alcohol. The officer wrote in the affidavit, testing of the shots also indicates the shots did contain ethanol. There you go. They saved the sample. Bernal was arrested and booked in the Smith County Jail on Monday and posted a $75,000 bond the same day. It's not immediately clear if she retained an attorney. The Tyler Independent School District said it was aware of Bernal's arrest. At this time, a parent volunteer brought homemade Jell-O to the celebration, which was later found to contain alcohol. Unfortunately, some students consumed the Jell-O before the situation was discovered. Staff acted immediately to address the situation, informing parents and working with law enforcement. The district said Bernal had not been allowed back to campus. We take this matter very serious and remain committed to the safety and well-being of our students. This is what the statement said. You cannot make this. What? Y'all, her name is Teresa Bernal. That's her name. Hold on, let's pull just so you guys can see who we're talking about. Teresa Bernal. Wait, Isabela Bernal. Oh my God. Maybe she just didn't read the disclaimer. You know, people don't always read disclaimers. That shit does happen, guys. That happens. People don't read disclaimers. I don't know why. See, there you go. So these hold up. Let me see if I can pull let's pull the New York Post and see what they say too. Here it is. One student passed. This is her. She's 33 years old. Okay. This is her. So everybody's aware who she is. Nope, not this lady right here. Isabella. Girl, I cannot. Maybe she cannot read. I just don't understand. So they were already made. To be fair, in Texas, a guardian may give a minor alcohol while in their presence. Really, Aduko? To the point where they can, like, I guess it depends how much is in a Jell-O shot, right? Right. Didn't she realize, didn't see and realize that the jello shots were awfully expensive for plain jello? I don't know, man. I cannot believe this. So, I guess, is this what they look like? No, this is just a picture of the alcoholic jello shots. Lord have mercy. You cannot make this up. I don't know what to tell you guys. So that is what happened with Lady. There's a whole Reddit now on this lady. Oh my god. And everybody, of course, is dragging her like this is her right here. Texas TV, Dallas TV, Texas mom arrested after allegedly giving jello shots to fifth graders. I want to see what that like Facebook marketplace jello shot ad looked like because they said that it said Smirnoff on it. So hold up. Let's see. Facebook marketplace. Let's see if we could pull it. Jello shots. I mean, they're being well. Hold up. I mean, I don't know if I can find the exact ad because I want to see what is she misreading or what. Teresa Isabel Bernal. Let's see if we can find it. If it directs me to that. Oh, Teresa spelled with one with no H. Okay. I was hoping that we would get maybe the direct Facebook post, but I don't know if we will. Let's see. Huh? Nope. Nope. They said people in the comments, Teresa just wanted to be the fun mom and ended up throwing the turned up of the century at kids' party. Bless her heart. Next time we double check the snacks, sis. They said, hey, Teresa just wanted to be the fun. She wanted to be that one mom that brought alcohol to the school and somehow got away with it. They do make jello shots without alcohol. Not saying that she probably didn't know, but my sister-in-law made jello shots for a party, the blue batch without alcohol for the kids, and the red ones with alcohol so they wouldn't get mixed up. Okay? That's what happened. Somebody said, I'm sure she didn't mean any harm, but still, got to be more careful. Triggering addiction without realizing you're triggering the addiction. Wow. Accident or not, it was extremely dangerous. I agree. And a neglectful act. You don't know how these kids are going to react to any of that. You got to be careful. I mean, you had one kid, taking 6 jello shots at the same time. Like, that's horrible. Children's body are unable to metabolize alcohol properly, and even a teeny amount can cause fatal alcohol poisoning. Interesting. How many teachers spotted the jello shots sitting on the table? They are kind of hard to miss. And that's the thing that I'm like, the teachers also took the jello shots and couldn't tell the difference. That just tells me that the teachers are probably like partying it up after work or something. You know what, Andrew, you're right. The next time, it could have been brownies, y'all. It could have been brownies with a little kick. Okay? The special kind of brownies. That's right. You have to be careful. You have to be careful, you guys. It's not about peanut allergies or anything like that anymore. You just have to be careful. That's it. Be careful with them jello shots, all right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I wonder if the teachers kind of knew that there was something up but didn't want to call it out. They're like, well, maybe we'll take some home. I don't know. Don, the fact that she didn't read the disclaimer and the officer said in the arrest affidavit, this is there's alcohol in here. There's alcohol. Thank you. I know 33-year-olds that really are that naive, says Don. Hey, Pete Guy says, hey, now, nothing wrong with the special brownies. That's right, nothing wrong. Bridget, thank you for being a member for 18 months. I'm late. How old of the kids are we talking about? We're talking about 5th graders, Bridget. Shout out to you. Thank you for being a member for 18 months, my love. Shout out to you. We're talking about 5th graders. So what's 5th graders are what, like, 11, 10, 11-ish? Yeah, so they're minors with alcohol. One of them passed out. I mean, did they go to the doctor and stuff like that? They sound like they checked the Jell-O and it contained shit in the Jell-O. So there you go. There's that. And then of course, yeah, it's 5th graders, and of course, a Jell-O, like, it absorbs all the vodka and all that other stuff. It sits there. It's refrigerated. So that's the other thing too. There's a creativity to the Jell-O shot, if you know what I mean. Jackie, have a good one. Shout out to you. Belen says, I know they flipped out on my kids' school if things have sugar or peanuts. Thank you. Y'all we are worried about, oh, that little Johnny has a peanut allergy. You can't be bringing that over here. Don't. Little Johnny, little Johnny has a peanut allergy. Make sure that, or that it's gluten free or organic or, all these things. Well, safe to say that Smirnoff is, what is it? I think it's organic, right? Gluten free, peanut free, I would say. Oh my God. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. All right, guys. You said it. See, this is what I'm wondering. It's like, how did they not know? And the teachers kind of act like, well, the flavor was so strong. Yes. Yeah. Vodka is peanut free and gluten free, right? Listen, last time I checked. All right. Moving on. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Okay. Let me tell you guys something. So last night, I decided, I'm like, let me, like, because I hadn't really reviewed it to myself. So I went to go look. We're going to talk about Shannon Sharp. I went to look at the Shannon Sharp lawsuit from a Michelle Bundy Evans. Okay. Michelle Bundy Evans, Shannon Sharp's ex. And I think they'd been together for like 10 years. Oh my God. This lawsuit is like interesting. Okay. It is a 45-page lawsuit. So I'm like, well, let me just get to the meat and potatoes of this lawsuit. It is, she wrote it herself. She is not a lawyer. It would have been nice to, how do I say this? If I'm not a lawyer, right? And I'm writing a lawsuit, I'm going to be as plain English as I can be. But I literally had to go through like the thesaurus to try to figure out how she's using some of the words in this lawsuit, because it's very what's the word? Like, it's a little too much. Okay? It's a little too much. Then I'm like, there's a better way to say this. And if I'm having a hard time, and first of all, I have a hard time overall. But this is not an easy read, okay? And she wrote it herself. So I'm going to read a little bit of it. I'm going to skim through it, and just to give you guys a kind of like an idea of Michelle. So for those that don't know, there have been some allegations that have been put out about Shannon Sharp. In the last couple of weeks, Shannon Sharp has basically lost a couple deals. I mean, it's been the cancellation of Shannon Sharp, right? Shannon Sharp has denied all allegations. There was audio leak. Busby's in the mix. Busby has a reputation that very much is very interesting. He's representing a lot of victims. People have been able to put Busby in his place to a certain degree with Jay-Z. This one, my friends, I do wonder about this lawsuit a little bit, okay? So Michelle, and it's interesting because this is the ex, her name is Michelle. In 2024, when Shannon Sharp was having sex with a woman on IG live stream, and it was accidentally recording, right? That woman's name was also Michelle. So I kind of wonder, like, what is it about like Michelle's? There's definitely a pattern. I'll say that. There's a lot of patterns here, but I definitely think that there's something to be said. And by the way, this woman, I think she was charged in like an attempted murder situation. Okay. So that, and I had to, like, I kept hearing that. She talks about that in this lawsuit. I don't know how that's relevant to this, but it is. Okay. So I'm going to take it slow. All right. But we're going to do this. So in the month of September of 2010, the presence of the defendant was noted within my residential ado. At that juncture, we had been engaged in an intimate relationship of considerable duration, nearing a decade. She could have just said, I've been with this guy for 10 years. I'm like, short. A dispute had arisen, provoked by my recent unsettling revelation that Shannon had clandestinely introduced another woman into his domicile. A fact which he had deliberately concealed from me. Amidst this contentious exchange, Shannon expressed a desire to engage in sexual relations. My response was unequivocally negative, articulated thusly, no, because you gave it to someone else. So yeah, Claire, y'all see this? I was reading this. And I said, I don't know if I was reading this to myself. I said, oh my God. That's that first paragraph, okay? So in short, what she's saying here is that she had a relationship in 2010 with Shannon Sharp, and it was an intimate relationship for about a decade, 10 years. And from him cheating, okay, because that's what it was, in his address at his home, she basically decided to kind of end it there because he gave it up to somebody else. Okay. Notwithstanding my clear objection, the defendant proceeded to forcefully subdue me, compelling me to my knees and subsequently engaging in non-consensual oral penetration. Despite my protests, he persisted in this violation. Consumed by fear and the perplexing nature of his actions, I harbored a deep-seated apprehension that resistance would precipitate further detrimental outcomes. Thereafter, Shannon escalated as he maneuvered me into the bed and achieved non-consensual vaginal penetration, all the while proclaiming his intent to make it so no other man would want me. I was bereft of understanding as to his meaning, yet acutely aware of my voice dissent had been one only disregarded. In the aftermath of these heinous acts, Shannon took, and I'm skipping some words, y'all, because this is like, I don't have time, took a more menacing turn. He levied threats of ruin, declaring that any attempt of my part to disclose his transgressions would be met with a comprehensive campaign to use everyone I know to destroy you. Okay. So, like I said, the very descriptive kind of words, that type of situation, you know, I think so. I think so that she does kind of want to come across a little bit more. Grant, listen, I'm a basic, you know. I feel like she's a basic girl. No, I mean, like when I'm writing, especially because English is not my first language, I have to slow myself down and I have to process things a little bit different. So when I was reading this to myself last night, I said, oh my God, like this is going to drive me crazy if I have to write it, do a pre-recorded video on this, and pronouncing words and stuff. It's a real, disability for me to a certain degree. So I do have to slow down a little bit and look into words and stuff like that so that I understand what's going on. So, let's see. Given Shannon's extensive acquaintances, the gravity of this threat loomed largely, engendering an intensified state of fear within me in response to his unrelenting harassment, which persisted even during my hours of employment. I sought and obtained judicial release in the form of a protective order. This legal safeguard was subsequently relinquished when the defendant engaged in an act of doxing, maliciously exposing my personal address through court documents. How did he do that? I'm not really sure. I'm going to tell you something about this, okay? When she says this, subsequently relinquished when the defendant engaged in the act of doxing, you could make the argument that the new victim here, Gabriela Zuninga, the only reason why we know her name is because he did put her name out there, right? Now, is your first and last name doxing? There's an argument out there that could be made that it is and it isn't. Just totally depends. But how did he do this? I don't know. The subsequent media exposure engendered a profound concern for the safety of both myself and my kin. It is within this filing that I break my silence regarding these matters, having here to refrain from filing a formal police report. Okay, so I guess she thought about filing a police report, but she decided not to. I'm not really sure why. I think that if she can file a police report, it'd probably be great, but does she feel like she's not going to be believed and that's why she holds back? So then she went for a civil lawsuit instead. I'm not really sure. The media narrative that merged with rife was rife with defamatory commentary, assailing my professional reputation, with particular emphasis on my prior collaborative endeavors with the defendant, as exhibited in as shown in Exhibit Y. Moreover, the allegations fabricated by the defendant's former intimate acquaintance, Michelle Breisner, with whom I had professional engagements, as evidence in Exhibit F, were compounded by fabrications from, is it Thyan Davis? Thayan Davis, a vehement supporter of defendant and the Denver Broncos, animated by personal grievance. These accusations must be contemplated with the context of defendant's articulated threats to yield his connections as instruments of my destruction. Despite the portrayal of my living circumstances by the media as destitute, I was, in fact, the proprietor of a residence situated on 3 acres in the state of Georgia, and I maintain a lease dwelling in proximity to my place of employment. How is this relevant to this? I'm not really sure. But give you an idea, Thyan, is that how you say that? Thyan? Thank you. Guys, this is her writing, right? So I was like, well, I'm intrigued, but this is the civil lawsuit. That's what I feel like. I'm like, did the girl just grab a whole thesaurus and say, because I used to do that. I'd be like, is there a different word for this? And then you insert it, but it doesn't come natural. You know what I mean? It's the American way. So you're alleged attacker, so you get the money rather than him being prosecuted. People, there's that too. There's that too. If she's able to file a police report, why hasn't she done that? That is the question. Give you an idea of the craziness of this lawsuit. Now, let me be very clear. It's the way that it's written that's hard. Big words, big brain. I'm just saying, people using big words to try to sound smart, but not using these words correctly. I think that's what it is. It's like, is she using the words correctly? I told you all, English is my second language, so I wouldn't even feel like I would be able to say anything about that. And let's keep going. It's often the only way to get any semblance of justice. That's right, Cheeks. She's trying to act like she's not a gold digger. I don't mind it either. I would love to say we believe, but I was a teen when courts allowed to use clothing, job, and marital status. On the other hand, women have been less than truthful. Ooh. Yeah, your brain works different, right? Oh, all right. Let's keep going to this. Did she use Chat GPT? Oh my God. She did file this last year. Sometimes people stringing a bunch of stringing a bunch of words together, then call it a sentence. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Please note that this is a hard one. I'm like, oh my God, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, so then she further says, in 2014, the defendant directed his steps towards the premises of my then employer, Turner Broadcasting. Herein, he made an appearance on the CNN broadcast State of the Union, referred to Exhibit 1 for transcripts. His discourse thereon encompassed the issue of domestic violence within the ranks of the National Football League players. During the segment, the program's moderator made a cursory reference to Shannon's historical entanglements with DV allegations, noting that he had a case that was completely dropped. Regrettably, this account omitted the critical details that it was not I who had rescinded the order. Okay. Whilst my identity was not directly invoked, a aforementioned appearance precipitated a ripple effect, inspiring the national televised Saturday Night Live to concoct a satirical vignette predicated upon Shannon's interview on State of the Union. Okay, they attach in evidence Exhibit H. This skit alluded to his illegal predicaments dating back in 2010, which were indisputably connected to our judicial encounter. So Saturday Night Live did a skit about Shannon Sharp's DV history, And so then she's pointing this out here, okay? At that point, my professional responsibility entailed the dissemination of CNN's video content on their official YouTube channel. It was through the executions of these duties that I became cognizant of Shannon's televised discussion. The discovery was to articulate mildly and perturbing. In close temporal proximity to this event, my tenure at Turner Broadcasting was abruptly terminated under the guise of a layoff, post which I have been subjected to prolonged unemployment, bereft of the capacity to secure gainful employment. Girl, just say that you got fired, that you got laid off, and it was a wrongful termination or something. Since the occasion of Shannon's CNN interview, he had insistently resurrected the narrative of our shared past on various public forums, including television, radio, and social media platforms. In moments when the public discourse pivots to the misconduct of celebrated sports personalities, Shannon opportunistically interjects himself into the dialogue, often hinting or unequivocally alleging that my accusations were fabricated. Lord have mercy. Yeah, you're fired. Just say you're fired. You try not to do you see what I'm saying? Girl, unapproachable life. Try to read this and then try to be like, wait, hold up. Let me go back a little. Lord have mercy. Can we get a translate? That's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of big words. It's like the girl got the thesaurus. You know what I mean? I couldn't, but like, shout out to her. First of all, filing the lawsuit on your own is very hard. But like this is a lot of words. This is a lot of words to just say what you mean. You know what I mean? Like, I got fired and it was because of this and that and the other. And I haven't been able to get hired. And listen, 3 sentences, skip the pages. I don't know. Because if I'm having a hard time reading this, I would imagine that a lawyer would struggle, or a judge would struggle with this too. Like, I'm just thinking in my mind. You said all you're hearing is the adults and the peanuts. It is a serious matter. She is putting in the work, I would say, but it's difficult. And I'm just wondering if she felt like she needed to do it this way. Yes, that's true. It's a little bit harder. It hits a little bit harder when you make it this way. But anyways, let me keep reading this, okay? The defendant has both spoken of and demonstrated his resort to force when he does not get what he wants with an intimate partner. In 2015, this is where it gets to an interesting part. In 2015, I entered into the sacred bonds of matrimony. Just say you got married, girl. Like, in 2015, I got married. Subsequent to this union, it became my woefully burden to endure acts of domestic violence of an egregious nature perpetrated by my spouse. To rationalize his reprehensible conduct, he frequently invoked the name of the defendant. In 2017, I endeavored a flight from the oppressive clutches of my husband and an attempt that culminated disastrously. In the midst of my efforts to flee, he leaped upon the conveyance, resulting in a vehicular mishap wherein he sustained injuries. So he got on top of the car. He is that what that means? What does that mean, y'all? Listen, this is what she wrote. Let me see if I can put it in the chat, y'all. What does that mean? See, like, if you are not, let me see. He leaped on the conveyance. He got on top of the car? Is that, I have no idea what that last sentence meant. Well, it says, this is what I'm understanding. But, like, I understood the part where she said that she got on top of the car, that's what it sounds like to me. He leaped upon the conveyance, resulting in a vehicular mishap wherein he sustained injuries. He got on top of the car, which led to a car accident. Is that what that means? Well, and that's what I'm saying, Andrew, is how does her past with her husband have any connections whatsoever to Shannon Sharp? And that's the question. That's what I'm saying. Is like, how is this connected to everything? Listen, I took a pre-legal class, and I remember having to write stuff and different things, and the stuff would get returned to me if it didn't make sense to things. Okay. So I have to kind of wonder about this. You said either that or some kind of conveyance, but the car makes no sense. Okay, well, let me Google. Let's see. Google, tell me what this is. He leaped on the conveyance. First of all, a conveyance is the action or process of transporting someone or something from one place to another. So he jumped on top of the car. Okay, that's what a conveyance means. You're confused as hell? Okay, a means of conveying, especially a vehicle for transportation. So he leaped on the car. Thank you. She needs an attorney, Ava. That's what I'm saying. No. When I read this, I said, I need a Jell-O shot. Belen, you better hit that like button because you're gonna get me demonetized. So people are gonna get mad. Belen said, "Listen, I need a Jell-O shot to understand this, girl." um, First of all, shout out to her because writing lawsuits is difficult. But I really, maybe she needs a lawyer. Maybe she should have had a lawyer read this over. You can hire a paralegal to read your paperwork and just pay them, something. I know if I know that people can do that. You can hire somebody to just read your legal paperwork that you're about to submit. But this is an idea of, of what we're saying. Oh my God, Wendy's laughing. Um, it's if it's not natural, that's the thing. It's like, um, hold up. You said, can you imagine if you're speaking the way that she's writing? All right, let's keep going. Okay, let's keep going. So, thank you for gifting. Oh my gosh, so thank you so much for gifting a membership, y'all. If you've been gifted, put some hearts in the chat, please, and thank you, thank you, my love. Thank you for supporting the channel. This is a hard one. All right, it's a hard lawsuit to read. Support the channel. Okay, resulting in a vehicular mishap wherein he sustained injuries. Okay. Now, hold up. So she was trying to flee. He leaped on the car or whatever, resulting in a vehicular mishap where he sustained injuries. The authorities thereafter levied charges of assault against me. Owing to the jurisdiction of New York legislative framework, which does not recognize the principle of self defense, I was compelled to enter into a plea agreement. Subsequent to this, I was afforded a mitigation of sentence pursuant to the merits of the Domestic Violence Survivors Justice Act, a clemency granted post a judicial proceeding in which I demonstrated the extent of my husband's maltreatment. So it sounds like she got a plea agreement because she was able, this is my understanding, if I'm able to summarize this correctly, she got a plea agreement because she was able to demonstrate that she falls under the DV Survivors Justice Act through her own actions. But again, how does this then relate to Shannon Sharp, right? Because right here, this, I don't know. This is what she's saying. I think that maybe because they're going to look into her, she might, um, have a record. Maybe she feels like she needs to justify herself to the court by saying this. And this does happen, right? Like if you feel like you can't advocate for yourself because you have your own record, that does happen to a lot of people. But the question is going to be, how is this relevant to the lawsuit? And I'm no lawyer, but I'm thinking that way. Okay. All right, let's keep going. In an attempt to exacerbate the severity of my judicial sentences, the defendant proffered not merely one, but a pair of sworn affidavits repelled with falsity to the presiding court. Okay, the judicatory process was protracted well into the year 2022, an extension necessitated by the incumbents of the COVID-19 pandemic, among other delaying factors. Okay, so this is why she brought, now this makes sense. This is why she brought this issue up. She's saying here that Shannon Sharp is somehow got some like sworn affidavits that she's alleging are false about what happened with her judicial process. Okay, so she probably feels like Shannon Sharp is using her past marriage to her abusive ex-husband, to basically use it against her. And that he's using and having people sign affidavits. Okay. Yes, you're right. To explain the prior incident. And maybe she should have started, maybe it's the way that this is worded. If she would have started by saying, listen, in 2015, I got into this situation. I have a plea deal because of this Survivor Act. And I have, Shannon Sharp used this situation and got people to sign false affidavits in order to get me caught up or something like that, or to lie about me. I think that would sound a little bit better than anything. You said, is it in English? No, Old English. But that's just breaking it down. Maybe she just needed somebody to help her out with that. And a lot of this was happening, I guess, during the pandemic. Okay. Then she writes here, I was coerced to take this plea by my lawyer, who did not disclose an existing conflict of interest in regards to the defendant, neither to the court nor the plaintiff as required. So she had a lawyer. She took the plea, and the lawyer that she there was a conflict of interest with the lawyer. In addition, the plaintiff was threatened by the presiding assistant district attorney, Jesse Matthews, that if she testified at the grand jury hearing, he would not take the domestic violence into account. Plaintiff lawyer then refused to allow plaintiff to testify. Exhibit QQ. The plaintiff may have never been indicted had she been given the chance to testify. I'm going to keep scrolling. All right. Yes. We're not going through all 40. Listen, I don't have the energy for that. It's short, believe it or not. We got a couple more pages. This is page 8. Okay. She stops at, here it is. We're almost done. She stops at page 9. And we're not going to read the actions, but I'm reading to you guys what she's alleging. Okay. In January of 2023, the defendant caused a scene. Look at this. Listen to this. Okay. In January of 2023, the defendant caused a scene at an NBA Lakers game and got into a heated argument with some of the players. Exhibit L. Afterwards, the defendant was quoted by after. There it is. Sorry. Afterwards, the defendant was quoted by ESPN. They didn't want this smoke, Dave. They all do that talking and jockeying, and I ain't got the jockeying. It started with Dylan Brooks. I said he was too small to guard LeBron. He said, fuck me. I said, fuck you back. And he started to come at me, and I said, you don't want these problems. And then Ja came out of nowhere talking. He definitely didn't want these problems. Then the dad came, and he obviously didn't want no problems. But I wanted anything they had. Don't let these fools fool you now. The defendant did this on national television in front of the children present, not caring about anybody else but himself. So Shannon Sharp had a moment where he was arguing about other players who was guarding LeBron James, and she's noting this here, okay? And the children were around, and Shannon Sharp didn't care. Imagine that he would be telling to do, Then she makes a statement here. Imagine what he would be willing to do behind closed doors with nobody watching. This is what she says about, this is a statement. Now, I'm no lawyer or a judge, but I would be like, objection. How is this relevant? He's arguing this happened in this time. Did any of the kids complain? I don't know, but she's saying over here all this. And just imagine what he's doing behind closed doors. So it's almost like she's pointing out his behavior in the public to kind of merit something about his character, to give merit to something about his character. You know what I mean? You're laughing it up. Anyways, let's keep going, okay? So the defendant has inaugurated a podcasting conduit on the digital video sharing platform known as YouTube. Just say he's got a channel on YouTube, Nightcap. In an episode recently, the defendant, I'm skipping words, y'all. Defendant, reflecting upon interactions with an undisclosed female, conceded on the record, I just couldn't leave her alone. She goes, Shannon, why can't you leave me alone? Thereafter, the defendant elected to articulate a rejoinder employing a maximum renown for its attribution to the pantheon of distinguished writers and philosophers. Such an unequivocal concession by the defendant dovetails precisely with the averment profiter by the plaintiff, set as forth in the instant complaint. I have no idea what she's trying to say here. Yeah, you got me here. You got me here, Michelle. I don't know what you're trying to say here. So then she talks about another nightcap episode. The defendant is captured on the video declaring, "Don't ask me about none of my exes, because I'm going to tell you they're great." This revelation by the defendant effectively obliterates any remaining vestige of uncertainty with regards to the character and to the extent of the interaction by the plaintiff in regards to the defendant as alleged herein. In the wake of the initiation of these legal proceedings, it comes to light that the defendant was subjected to additional litigation of a similar nature. Interesting. And let me say this. So a couple months back, I think it was in February, Shannon Sharp was mentioned in another lawsuit, but he wasn't like the defendant in that lawsuit. He was just mentioned. And I remember it was on the Fox lawsuit with a couple of people that were talking about how people were being sexist. One of the women had been violated. We talked about it here. Another woman had slept her way to the top to get to Fox Sports, and how misogynistic and everything it is. So they were talking about all that. Notably, the defendant was entangled in a lawsuit for defamation instigated by the esteemed former National Football League quarterback, Mr. Brett Favre, in the state of Mississippi. The defendant's assertion, as articulated in the judicial submission, was that the process of service was not fully executed. In a decisive rebuttal, Mr. Favre furnished the adjudicating authority with, I'm not even going to try, with photographic evidence extracted from video footage unequivocally depicting the defendant in the act of being served in accordance with the legal protocols. Mr. Favre submitted this evidence lays bare the defendant's fallacious representation in official court filings, casting severe aspirations on the defendant's testimonial integrity. How is this relevant? I'm not really sure, because I'm really confused, because it's a lot of big words. Michelle Evans' impact statement, Exhibit EE, financial loss, helps illuminate the ongoing struggles that she has faced as a result of the defendant's actions, some of which are laid out as following. So it stops right there with the background. Lord have mercy, I need some water. Babe, no, thank you so much, Ava. Thank you. Stop it, Aduko. It's a lot, y'all. I'm telling you, if it doesn't sound natural, she's trying to judge the behavior on this, but it's like Andrew said, how is he said it earlier on another comment, like, how is this going to be relevant to this, right? Oh my God. Hey, Jeanette. Let's keep going, because I got to show you some of the exhibits, okay? But we are done officially with the background. So cause of libel action. Hold up. She does do a little graph of which I found to be very interesting. Cause of action slander. This is 45 pages of a lot of stuff. Cause of action for slander of a woman. Okay, so that's like there's like a penal code or something like that. Cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Cause of action for negligent infliction of emotional distress. Cause of action for defamation, and conclusion. So she realleges everything. Psychological repercussions of such a cascade of events are profound. Hold up, my friends. She did a wheel, which I thought was interesting. I've never seen something like this in a victim lawsuit. Let me make myself small, okay? I've never seen a pie graph, okay? Unless you're talking about like how much money you spent on like therapy, okay? Like 50%, 75% therapy, and then 20, like if there was like physical or mental health damages or something like that. I've never seen it this way, okay? So she really did break down impact of defendant's actions on Michelle Evans. So she did a pie chart. Social isolation, 24.3, depression 10.8, reputational damage 10.8, economic hardship 10.8, isolation 5.4, fear and paranoia 5.4, anxiety and panic Panic attacks, 5.4. Legal and judicial stress, 5.4. Complex grief, 5.4. Traumatic bonding, 5.4. Impact on physical health, 5.4. And complex trauma, 5.4. So she breaks it down. Then there's more charts, okay? And she breaks down by like everything that happened that led to a this. Yeah, trauma bonding, okay? Oh my gosh. All right. Yes, it's up there. Y'all are this is what I'm saying. I'm like, I could do a pre-recorded video on this, but this is going to be intense. I'd rather do it live and have you guys react, okay? Common public contents about Michelle Evans. So she broke down people's comments, okay, about what they say about her, and she made it into a pie chart. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that, okay? All right. Severe and accusatory comments, 23.1%. Okay, so these are like she basically took a bunch of comments and then kind of counted them, I guess, and put them in buckets to figure out like which comment is what. Here's my question. What if one comment can have like all of them? Do they all fall in that bucket? I didn't know. Is she giving us a calculation of what she's entitled to? I think she's giving a calculation of what she feels like she's been through. You know what I mean? Hey, Livermore, how are you, my love? Hey, Jay. Jay Bootsy, how are you? The pie chart is interesting. Yeah, but I would expect this more from like, okay, if I'm going to a doctor, if I'm going to a therapist who's treating me for this trauma, I'm going to allow the therapist to submit a letter or something, not a pie chart. Maybe submit copies of my treatment plan or submit like something that says about the trauma that I've been through. But I've never seen anybody do a pie chart about the things, the comments that people are making. Okay. It's an interesting way to lay it out, right? So like, think about it this way. When Cardi B and Tasha K situation happened, right? When that court situation was happening, Cardi's team brought over the therapist that was treating Cardi, right? And she gave she testified. She gave a statement of all the trauma that Cardi was going through by the things that, had been publicated about her by Tasha K and, the things that came out, right? That's a little bit different. This, my friends, is literally a pie chart of comments, which I've never seen in my life, ever, anybody do. Okay, so dehumanizing and degrading language, 20. Okay, wait. So severity of accusations and comments, 23.1. Dehumanizing and degrading language, 23.1%. Victim blaming and shaming, 15.4%. Public scrutiny and judgment, 14.4%. Stigmatization and isolation, 7.7%. Calling for imprisonment or rape, 7.7%. Racial and gender stereotyping, 7.7%. That's interesting. Okay. So the public comments and allegations against Evans are of a severe and accusatory nature. They include character assassination, such as claims of her being infatuated with Sharp and moving close to him with an insane idea in her head that they would have a relationship. There are statements referring to her as a gold-digging, reputation-ruining slut and suggesting severe punishment like imprisonment or psychiatric institutionalization. Additionally, derogatory and dehumanizing terms like Bundy bitches and wrench nuts are used. So stigmatization and isolation, the public portrayal of Evans as a stalker, a liar, a gold digger can lead to social, look at the statement, can lead to social stigmatization and isolation. Being publicly branded in such a negative term can result in feelings of shame, embarrassment, or loneliness. Trauma and emotional distress, the harsh nature of these comments, especially those calling her for imprisonment or suggesting she deserves to be raped, can be deeply traumatizing. Such an extreme vilification can exasperate existing emotional distress. Okay, I'm just kind of skim reading through all of these. Damage to reputation, self-esteem, fear and paranoia. We read those. All right, so let's see what else she has. Because as soon as I saw that second Graph, I said, oh, I don't know if I can read all this. This is too much. Hold up. Let's see. Public. She goes into these public comments. Like she's been out here reading all this stuff. All right. So this is her signature. Her name is Michelle Evans or Michelle Bundy Evans. She's got 2 names, and that is 45 pages, my friends. I don't know where she doesn't have the exhibits. I was hoping that we would see the exhibits that she's talking about, but she didn't include those in. That is the lawsuit. That's the lawsuit. That's a lawsuit. Yeah, like it's a suggestion. That's for sure. The dog, thank you. Very educational today. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad. I mean, I feel like I kind of went through it, but now you guys saw a little bit of like my thought process behind it. You know what I mean? Like it's intense. And the way that she wrote it is very intense. It's a difficult read. I think anybody who's a lawyer would probably have a hard time reading that too. I mean, and I'm no lawyer, but just saying. If you have been there, the target of retaliation when exposing a predator, especially one of the statuses, you have no idea how much it affects your life. That's true in the Pines. You're absolutely correct. The Duck, thank you so much for this. I appreciate you. I said it before, put in the work. It's very difficult to read, okay? But let me explain something to you. Thank you, Aduko. Shout out to you. I feel like we got it done because I was like, oh, I'm gonna struggle with this. I think that, first of all, she doesn't have a lawyer. She's representing herself. So I think we could, grace can be given for that. I think anybody who stands up and is going to take a person, an institution, or exposing all kinds of things is difficult, right? Like you're gonna have you have a lot to go after, but when you go after names like Shannon Sharp, all these people, like expect that there's going to be scrutiny, and it's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. It's how it is. It's not easy being a target, a victim of this. And let me tell you, sometimes predators will pick certain folks. He did date her, right? He obviously was with her for like 10 years. I don't think she's lying about Shannon Sharp. She might not have the best way to articulate it. She probably doesn't. She doesn't have that skill set to articulate it. It doesn't know, and she probably doesn't trust people. She probably doesn't trust a lot of lawyers, right? And then she's also been involved with the system, so she probably feels like people are after her one way or another. I don't blame her for feeling that way. There's probably a better way to process this in a legal document. That would probably be the feedback to give her, because you don't want a judge to look at this and just throw it out. You don't want this to get dismissed because she's fighting a big fight. Yeah. So there are no model victims. And typically the people that get victimized are the ones that, are chosen because of certain things. So keep that out. You got to have a little grace with that. A little grace with that. Even though some of the stuff is like insane, but a little grace with that. I apologize for being you better stop. You better stop. All right. Shout out to you. Hands on an apple. Yeah, listen. That's right. And judge gives a lot of leeway for people that can defend themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know. You said, why would it get thrown out? Her complaint is well thought out. It's just my thought. I'm not saying it's going to get thrown out, Vicky. I'm saying that's the stuff like, you don't know how a judge is going to review this or what they're going to see. I'm not really sure. And I'm not a lawyer. It's detailed, well thought out, but it's not an easy read. But maybe it's just me because I am hooked on phonics. So excuse me. Okay. I'm so grateful my assault happened before the internet was a big time. Wow. Yeah. I'm sorry. Judges give a lot of leeway with people who defend themselves. That's right. That whole thing going to get stuck, it's kind of sad because they obviously have something to say. Yes, just because it may not be our cup of tea doesn't mean it doesn't check all the boxes. It's true. Very true. Yeah, people got to give some grace. I'm so grateful. My assault happened before the internet was a big. I just read this. I'm sorry, Shauna B. Shout out to you. Let's see. Hopefully she gets a good lawyer. Yeah, she has the right to justice, to a justice system, just like everybody else. Absolutely. So our case is not supposed to be an easy read. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just saying it wasn't an easy read for me, but that could just be me because I'm having a hard time with it. Essay cases are not. Oh, I see. That's not a so. Essay cases are not supposed to be an easy read. No, they're not. And I don't like even the essay details. She didn't really um she talked about it in the first paragraph, but I think the other details were a little bit, it's just hard to read. That's all. I'm confused. We didn't give this scrutiny to Cassie. Let's not forget let's not forget this to her. Let's not forget this to her. Um, I'm confused. We didn't give this scrutiny to Cassie. Let's not forget this to her. Well, I don't even think we got to read the Cassie lawsuit. I mean, they filed right away. Well, did we? I don't even remember. And I'm not giving scrutiny to her. I'm saying it was a difficult read for me. That's the feedback that I'm giving. That's all. Let's see. That's what happens when a small brain tries to act large. Confused. It happens. I think that the lawsuit could have been laid out better. Yeah, like that's it. That's better. That being said, I have read lots of bad lawsuits in my career by attorneys. There you go. Yeah, and then they settled the same way. So it's a little bit different, right? Cassie had the lawsuit. Cassie had what did Christine just say, right? Sometimes like if you're represented by yourself, you may get some leniency, but you know, if you have an attorney that can write something out for you, and I'm sure that there could have been a better way to write that, but I give her props because she did write it and she's taken up a huge situation. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, attorneys have practice. I give her all the grace. I hope she gets some assistance in preparation in future. Thank you, Ava, because that's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's so hard. It's just a hard read for me. That's it. That's all. Okay, moving on. Can we move on? Let me know. So Al Sharpton went to go see Wendy Williams. Did you guys see this? This came up during the week, and I completely forgot to report on it and stuff like that. You know, guys, we've been on Wendy Williams and hoping that she is freed. But I think I mean, I'm hoping, I haven't heard a public statement yet, but I hope that he does help her in this whole situation. Yeah, let's get into it.
Can we jump for a couple of seconds? So here we go. So
really,
I spoke to Wendy. How's she doing?
We had prayer. She's doing very well. I wish you the best for her. That's all I'm going to say right now. We spent about 40 minutes together. She's doing very well.
Well, Reverend, just really quickly, you know, when someone calls you, it's pretty serious and Reverend Al gets involved. How serious is this, and what does the fight look like when you're involved?
It's serious enough to say we had prayer. That's all I'm going to say now.
Yeah.
Mr. Sharpton, just one question for Timsy. Going forward, how do you plan on helping Wendy? Is it strictly spiritually, or
any way I can be helpful to her and the family?
was she in good spirits?
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. We appreciate your time. Ciao. Hey, Mr. Sharpton, how are you? You look fantastic today. Enjoy your visit with Wendy.
Can we jump for a couple of seconds?
Wait. So you guys, so tell me more. I mean, it's funny. It's everybody's got something to say. I'm kind of wondering about this too. Like, where do you guys, who sent Al? Do you think Al has like a nefarious situation going on here? I don't drink the Kool-Aid. So did Wendy call him? How did he get involved? Hold up. Now, Al Sharpton, you don't know how you feel? Let me know how you guys feel. Do you think it could be it? You said, no, he's a grifter. Get out of there. I feel like, what do y'all make of it? So Wendy Williams' conservatorship fight sees Reverend Al Sharpton leading to what? Lending a hand. So she's going to lend a hand? He's going to lend a hand? How? And he's calling, here it is, meets with Wendy to pray after she called him for helping in her guardianship battle. She called him, though. You said he went and then he came out. You said he's only out for himself? Oh my God. Try to be relevant? there's going to be people that align themselves to the Wendy Williams situation just to try to be relevant. You kind of have to wonder. Okay, so if Ben Crump said, I'm going to take on her case, how would you guys feel about that? What about think of another lawyer. Well, you have Joe Tacopina that I guess he's taking it on. It does get exposure. This is all social media following, right? It's getting more exposure. Seeing Al Sharpton out there, it's kind of like, oh, Al Sharpton is willing to step in there. You don't like Ben either? Y'all. Okay, then who? Okay, what if Busby says, all right, I'm going to take on the fight? Would that be different? Oh my God. Speaking of Kool-Aid, there's a docuseries about Jim Jones and oh yes. Another one? I feel like they always do documentaries on this situation. Hold up. You feel better with Busby? Really? Oh my God, that says a lot. You said no, 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 and no. I don't know, man. It's going to be on Max. My money is on Lori Vallow. Oh my God. Lori Vallow and her eyebrows. You said, let's see. I'll just say, be wary of the necessarily bad to get all this followers behind this as well. It could help. We just have to wait and see, I suppose. They all suck. F Busby, says Wendy, not Busby. I'm just thinking of all the lawyers that we know so far. Almost anyone but Al. Oh my God. Yeah, look at you guys. Oh my God. Al was a known Fed informant for years because they busted his ass on some charges. Rabbit, I'll pick you over Al. Thank you. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but thank you. Wait, Chico says, yeah, I'll take Busby over Al. Oh my God. Yo, we got some okay, so I don't know. I don't know what to say. You said agreed. I'm just waiting. Well, so again, he is the civil rights and justice activist arrived by her living headquarters at the assisted facility in the Hudson Yards on Thursday after she called him to help her fight her freedom from legal guardianship. Sharpton spoke with Page Six earlier in the day and told us Wendy Williams call him out of nowhere. She probably didn't know who to call, so she calls him. She called me yesterday on my cell phone, and I don't know where she said, is this Reverend Al? I said, yeah. And then she said, it's Wendy Williams. So he goes out there and he goes and sees her. Yeah, he looks different. Let me just say that much. Al's a clout chaser. Is this his bodyguard? Wow, he looks different. She sounded like Wendy. She didn't sound any different. She seemed excited that she reached me. The duo, who have known each other for decades, had a brief call, but Sharpton told us that William claimed that the facility is keeping her there against her will. She wanted me to try to help her. The Reverend spent over an hour with her at the facility Thursday afternoon, but was didn't say the details. Let's see. Williams' attorney, power lawyer Joe Tacopina, was more forthcoming about why his client reached out to Sharpton, explaining that she had hoped to draw even more attention to his fight with Sharpton by her side. Okay. Reverend Sharpton is an obvious choice when you want to speak to someone who's not afraid. She has the courage to say that they believe in him and with force. He has a respected voice, and then he speaks, people listen, and he garners attention. What if they call Quanell X? What if they call Quanell X? You think Quanell would join? I think Quanell would get some people too. Quanell X would be another person. He would be better. You said no. Damn. I'm looking at you guys. You said Quanell X too? Oh my God, you guys. You say you'll take Quanell. See that Vicky says he'll take Quanell over X over Al. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my. That's it. Free Wendy, period. That's it. You said maybe. I'll take Satan over Al. Oh my God. That's how you guys feel? That's how you guys feel? Okay. Well, Sharpton told us his goal Thursday, for the Thursday visit was to assess the situation and offer prayer. If she's treated unjust, I'll say that. I'll look into it and help. Me, what does he need to look into? I think we all see what we see, right? So meanwhile, Williams appeared vibrant from her window, waving to the fans. Is this even a recent picture? She got a phone on there. I don't know. You said Quanell is suspect too? Is sus? Y'all. Anyways. I don't know. Al took too much. Really? Oh my God, Ronan. Come on. You guys are crazy. Well, anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go because it's a wonderful day outside. So I'm gonna go. I'll probably be live later today. I still have to decide what we're gonna do. I don't know if we're doing our fire festival. It's just been a crazy weekend tonight, but I'll let you guys know. Interesting. I have full folks I like, but wow. Gotcha. All right. Hit the like button. I'll see you guys later. Hit the like button. Bye, guys. Bye. Oh, and shout out to Bridget, Zoe, and the Duck. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing. I appreciate the support. Bye, guys. Bye.